Moving on, question number 2 comes in from Collette. Hi there, Collette. Thanks for being part of the amazing WiggyWam community. Collette says, we're first-time buyers. We brought our first property, which is a 2-bedroom flat. I don't want it to be our forever home, and I want a house, but had to go for a flat as that's all our financial situation would allow us to buy in the current market. How does it work when the time comes to us? When the time comes for us to buy something bigger? Do we use the equity for our next deposit, and if so, how? Okay, Collette, well, thank you for the question, and great to see that you're already thinking ahead, although obviously I understand the frustration in the marketplace of trying to buy the right property that you want to buy and being priced out of the market because prices have moved up so much recently. Look, the way to look at this, and probably the easiest way I can explain this to you, is to try and use some round figure examples, Collette, as to how your deposit works in a property and how equity also works in a property as well. Okay, now equity, just to give you some background, is the difference between what you own and what you owe. Now, just to clarify that, let's say, for example, this property that you were buying here, this 2-bed flat, was £100,000 purchase price, just to use round numbers, okay? And you put down a £10,000 deposit to buy it, which would be 10%, okay? Now, your equity in that property would be £10,000, okay? And your liability would be £90,000, which is your mortgage, okay? Now, let's say, for example, you live in that property for 2 years, the market goes up by 10%. Now the property value is worth £110,000, okay? Your liability is still £90,000, assuming you've not paid a chunk off the mortgage in the time that you've lived there, but your equity will have doubled from the original £10,000 deposit that you put in to now because your property value is increased by another 10,000. Does that make sense? So you've got your 10,000 you put in originally, plus your increase in equity by 10,000. So your total equity is then 20,000. Now, at the time when it comes for you to buy your next property, you've got 2 options. Okay, your first option would be to sell the property, so you could sell it, and you could realize your gain, as it's called, and that would mean you would get back £20,000 from the example I've just given you, minus all of the fees associated with selling a property. Okay, you could then take that cash and then put it into the next property that you want to buy. So you would take that 20,000, top it up with a mortgage, and then buy another a property. Okay. Now, again, during that term of ownership, that 2-year period, your earnings might have increased, and therefore you might be able to qualify for a bigger, a better mortgage and that sort of thing. So there's a lot of factors that kind of go on here, Collette, in terms of buying it. Your second option, as I mentioned, is that you might, if you say you live here for 5, 7, 10 years, something like that in this flat, there might come a point when you're looking to buy your next property, but you don't necessarily need to sell this one to recover the equity that's in it. So what you might want to consider doing is doing what we call a refinancing exercise or a remortgage exercise, where you would put maybe a buy-to-let mortgage on the property, okay, extract some of the equity, and then put that into the next property that you're going to buy. And if you want a little bit of, if you want to do some actual numbers on this to try and clarify it in your own mind, I'd be happy if you want to send me the exact numbers that you're working with, and we can kind of throw some figures around and give you some more sort of concrete examples that apply to your situation. But hopefully, in essence, the sort of description that I've given you will allow you to see how it allows you to move through up the housing ladder, should I say. Now, if this all sounds a little bit complicated and you're thinking, oh my goodness, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, there are a couple of people that will help you with this in your moving journey. One of them would be your mortgage broker, who will sit down and actually do the pound, shillings and pence exercise in terms of your affordability for when you come to buy the next property, probably similar to the journey that you've already had as a first-time buyer to go and buy the 2-bed flat. And then the second person who will help you with that, it would be the conveyancing solicitor, who will do a statement, a completion statement, should I say, when it comes to the completion of the purchase of your next property. And that will show you where all the money has moved as a result of this exercise, from the cash that's come in from the sale of your property, the mortgage that's then come in on the next mortgage that you're getting for the other property, the amount that you've had to pay back on the first property, and then everything that's left that goes into the acquisition of the second property. So hope that's not been too convoluted, Collette. Hope it's given you a bit of an outline as to what's actually required and how this all works. But as I say, if you want to go through those exact numbers, I'll be happy to do that with you. Or again, you can talk them through with your mortgage broker or your solicitor at the time when it comes to buying your next home. All right. So best of luck with all of that. Hope you're happy in your property. And yeah, let's hope there's some growth in the housing market so that your equity position will increase over the course of the next few years. All right. So good luck, Collette. And let us know if we can help you any further. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, that brings us to the end of today's webinar. We're just inside the 1 hour mark, which is incredible. So really happy about that, but also really happy that I've been able to address some more of your questions that you've been sending in to us. So thank you for that. If you'd like to send in any questions in the future, please feel free to do so. You can do that via our email address, which is happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk. That's happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk. And just put your questions on an email to us there. You can go to our website, which is wiggywam.co.uk. That's wiggywam.co.uk, and you can sign up for a profile on there. Feel free to submit your questions that way. You can find us on any of the social media. I think we're now on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and goodness knows where else. Tumblr, I think we're on, and some of the other of these social media sites. So feel free through any of those marketing channels, you can get in contact with us, or on Twitter as well. Twitter handle is @WiggyWam_UK. So that's @WiggyWam_UK. And we'd love to field your questions in one of next week's shows or in the future. Again, if you'd like to become on as a guest to our WiggyWam Get Your Property Questions Answered podcast, or if you'd like to come on one of our expert corner interviews that we're going to be doing with other industry professionals, feel free to let me know, get in contact with us. Again, email address happytohelp@wiggywam.co.uk. It would be a delight to organise something and get you on one of our future episodes. So thanks so much for your time, care and attention today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being part of the amazing WiggyWam community. If you have not yet got your profile set up on WiggyWam, I encourage you to go there immediately, if not sooner. Check out the website, set up a free profile on the site, and start to share that with your friends and family, because I know now as the market begins to turn, they're going to need a lot more help and support with their moving journey. Things are going to get tougher rather than easier, and we're here to help and support them in every step of the way possible. All right, so please go to there, wiggywam.co.uk, set up your free profile, get started on there, start to invite your friends and family. We're going to build a real community of amazing evangelists, if you like, towards the property revolution. And I am looking forward to seeing you all on a future webinar very soon. All right, so thanks again. Take care.